All right, we're live. All right. Well, I'm unbanned from YouTube. Hello, everyone. What's up, guys? For everyone who was wondering, I was banned for 2 weeks off of YouTube. I'm back now. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, but that's what happened. I'm here. I'll release a video talking about that more in detail later. Also, talking about my plan. Because I won't be able to upload on this channel, actually. But yeah. For everyone who's watching this, if you want to continue watching my content, I will actually put my other channel and link it for you guys right now. So, because I'm not going to be able to upload on this channel. So this is going to be my other channel, Levi Crypto Trade. I might change the name of that channel. Yeah, guys, sub to my new channel here. That's my new channel, guys. I pinned it in the chat for you. You can go subscribe over here. This is where I'm going to be uploading content. Missed you guys too. Unfortunately, YouTube is kind of going off the rails and falsely terminating and suspending a lot of channels right now. And they're not much help to myself. So this is what I have to do. I won't be able to upload on this channel. I'll have to upload on the new channel. So that's where I'll be doing my content. So if you guys are not subscribed to this channel here, get up on that. That's where I'm going to be uploading my long form content in the future. I will upload one video, not too long, as well, just to show you guys, so you guys can get in there as well from that if people miss a live or whatever. But yeah, I missed you guys too. See you, Donald. Already following. Shout out Planet None. The bad boy of XRP is back. That's right. Thank you guys for everyone who subscribed. Much love. Yeah, so bear market, bull market, right? This is what everyone's talking about. This is why I wanted to go live. I wanted to give my honest thoughts. And honestly, I completely understand that not everyone's going to agree with what I think. And that's completely fine. That's completely fine. But I do have to speak about it because I do think that there are some pretty concerning things that have happened, which is why a lot of people are talking about the fact that we might actually already be in a bear market. And so I think this begs all of our attention for a few different reasons. Historically, if you look at the top of XRP in a bull market versus the bottom of XRP in a bear market, it's down 90% or more from the top to the bottom. And that's a lot, right? That's a lot. A lot of people, when that happens in previous cycles, like what we saw in 21 and what we saw in 2017, in 2017, it was actually a lot more than just 90%, by the way. It was very, very catastrophic for many people. Most people end up selling at somewhere near the bottom or close to the bottom, maybe 50% to the bottom, 60% to the bottom. And they lose a ton of money, and a lot of those people don't come back to crypto. And so I understand what I'm talking about in today's live stream might not be what people want to hear, but I do think it's what some people need to hear, in my opinion. Anyways, nothing I do say is financial advice, but we like to keep it real on this channel. We don't sell hopium. We sell the truth. That's what we do. So I want to kind of just go through X, and I want to show you guys a lot of what people are saying, because I do think it's pretty interesting. I also want to show you guys some content from some content creators that I actually really respect that go over a lot of this as well. And I want to start with this clip right here by Benjamin Cohen. Now, Benjamin Cohen is actually very well respected. I mean, this guy is someone who analyzes charts all the time, is looking at all the different moving averages and, you know, comparing death crosses and all these sort of things. And he has a lot of really interesting things to say. So I want to share this clip with you guys so that we can elaborate a little bit further on a lot of my thought process, because, you know, some of what I have learned has been from this guy. And I do think he provides some valuable information that's actually helped me in previous runs, because this guy's been around for a while and he's been creating content for a while. And he's also someone who just has a great mind when it comes to analyzing. So let's play this real quick. I want to make sure the volume's good.
Every single death cross, this entire cycle, every single one, the low happened within a couple of days. Some days it was a couple of days before. Sometimes it was a couple of days after. But they all happened within a couple of days. So, if the cycle is not over, Bitcoin should have a sizable rally within the next few days. If it does not, and we're still hanging out at these low prices by the end of the week, and you get a second weekly close below, it doesn't mean you can't have counter-trend rallies, but the odds of the cycle topping and go up considerably. So those are my views. Again, you have to respect the market that you have, not the market that you want. If this is, you know, if we are really going into the bear market, which normally drops below the 50-week estimate this late in the cycle would suggest.
Right. So basically what he's saying is, right, we have the SMA right here. We're dropping below it. We just closed. This, by the way, this video was uploaded yesterday. He uploaded a new one recently, which we'll get into. But we did end up closing below the SMA on the weekly chart there. And essentially what he's saying is, if we continue to trade below that moving average this late into the cycle, that there's a very high probability, but a 60 to 70% chance that this bull run is over, and the next 12 months we will close lower than where we are right now. And this does not just apply to Bitcoin. This would also apply to XRP and other cryptocurrencies. Now, another thing is, nothing in investing is for certain, right? Anything can happen, as we know. But, and there are people that honestly believe that, you know, cycles are a thing of the past. Cycles no longer exist. There's too much institutional adoption, yada, 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 and we're not going to see a bear market. You know, there are people that genuinely believe that. The only cautionary thing I will say about that is people also believe that in 21, people also believe that in 2017, people believe that ever since crypto started. They thought, oh, it's not going to have the same cycles as the stock market. It's always going to be, you know, growing because it's so small, yada, yada, yada. There was a million reasons why people made up that was the case. But this is just something that I think deserves to be on our mind, because if this does indeed play out the way that Benjamin Cohen believes it could play out here based off of the statistics, that would mean that, yeah, I mean, next year is actually going to be a great period to accumulate XRP at a massive discount. And for me, that's an amazing positive thing. That actually, to me, is a lot more exciting than XRP going to like $5 or something like that. Personally, for me, and that might not be super exciting for everyone here, but for me, that is actually the best thing that can happen. Because for me personally, every single time I've done extremely well in crypto, it's not been during the bull markets. It's been when I've bought during the bear markets, when XRP was trading at 50 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. And I was buying consistently every single day at those prices for, you know, like a year, like 12 months or longer. That's when I did the best, right? Because then you get into a bull market and XRP 5, 6, 7x's in price, which it did. Well, there you go. I mean, you literally just 7x'd your money over the course of, you know, like a very short period of time, like a couple of years. So that's my thought process, guys. That's my thought process right now. The problem is, yeah, some people are saying the problem is, waiting 3-4 years for it to run up again, and I understand that. If we are in the bear market, I'm not saying we are, but if we are in the bear market now, and we are going to be trending down for the next 12 months, we only really need to wait 1 year. So it's going to be like a downtrend for 12 months roughly if we're in a bear market, and then we establish our bottom somewhere throughout that 12-month period of time, and then we start slowly trending back up. Generally speaking, the bull runs last about a year and a half. Bear runs last between 6 to 12 months, generally speaking. And so if we are in a bear market, we have a good period of time here to accumulate. If we're not, I mean, nothing to worry about. You could keep holding your moon bag and just, watch XRP explode if you think that's going to happen. I am on the mentality of, I think for myself personally, it's a good time to have, dry powder ready in case there is increased volatility based off of the moving averages that we're seeing here. So that's my thought process anyways. Yard sales are, in my opinion, amazing. I think that's like true investors, I think, are always excited about a good deal. That's just what I think. How low do I think XRP will go from here? Well, I want to show you guys something which is kind of interesting, right? And we'll use the Grok for this. I just want to show you guys how much has BTC, XRP, and ETH gone down from peak price to bottom price every past cycle. And we're going to do this on fast actually, because this is not super complicated. I just want to show you guys like the averages basically. So we have many different cycles here. We have the very first cycle, of course, 2011 to 2013. The peak price for Bitcoin was $266. The bottom price was $2. So we went down about 99%, which I think we're in a much different place now than back then. Then there was 2013 to 2017. We had the peak price of $11.63 and the bottoming out price of $177. There was a drawdown of roughly 85% here. Then we have December 2017. Peak price was $19,498. Then we have the bottom price right here of 3,236, a drawdown of about 83%. And then November 2021, we had the peak price of 68,000 here and a bottom price of 15,000, a drawdown of about 77%, right? So I think there's a very clear trend here between the drawdown, right? We're obviously hitting higher highs every single cycle. Some people are saying that the height for Bitcoin this cycle was 126,000. Some people think that was the peak, which does make sense, but we will get into that a little bit more. Which means that the drawdown should scale down accordingly as well. I mean, it went down like 2% more here, 5% more here, maybe 6% more there. Maybe it'll be similar. Maybe we'll go down 70%. Maybe we'll go down 71, 72%, something like that, based off of these previous drawdowns. Now, I also accept the argument that everything's different this time. We have spot ETFs, but we have to also remember that spot ETFs can also have outflows. So while it might help that we do have more institutional involvement, the people that are driving the volume for ETFs are generally retail investors. And if they panic sell anywhere similarly to what they did in these previous cycles where we had these drawdowns, then, it could be very volatile. It's just something to keep in mind. There's arguments on both sides, right? So this is for Bitcoin. Now, like, how does Ethereum and XRP kind of fess up to that? Well, this is where things actually get absolutely insane. Bottom price, it says $88 here. Wait, this is incorrect. Why is it saying 88? It says $88. Okay, this is obviously wrong. Let's see if XRP is correct. Yeah, XRP looks correct, actually. Yeah, I don't know. It messed up on the bottom price here for Ethereum, but for XRP, it looks correct. We'll double confirm this in a minute. So you can see here for XRP specifically, during the very first cycle, 2 cents to a fraction of a single cent, about 85% down. The next cycle, the peak price was about 332. Bottom price was about 25 cents, drawdown of about 92. Then we had a drawdown of 85 and 65%. People say this cycle is still ongoing, right? So we'll see exactly how this will play out. That has yet to be seen. Have we hit our peak during the cycle? Yet to be known for sure, but we will see, right? Yeah, I mean, basically XRP's drawdowns are comparable to Bitcoin's for the most part. Solana's drawdown, the last bull run, was a lot more aggressive than Bitcoin's. And Ethereum, I actually don't fully know what the bottom was. I can't quite remember, but I mean, obviously this is wrong. Maybe we should ask Grok to do expert analysis and think harder, so that it gets better. Yo, Levi, welcome back. Thank you. Uh-oh, too much information for me to digest all at once. You know, sometimes less is more. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Let's try this. Oh my lord. Okay, how much has... Okay, we'll just do XRP. We'll just do XRP. Make sure it gets all the proper information on expert mode. It does. Because that fast... Yeah, Grok really lags out sometimes. What happened to my 10 to 15 price prediction? Well, you know, if the market... So, like, there's a few things. First, the ETFs were delayed because of the government shutdown. And on the surface, you know, that doesn't look like much, but when you factor in the fact that generally Q4 of every single cycle is the most bullish, and then we had the ETFs pushed way far back, and we know that the average, like the most amount of gains for ETFs generally happens within 64 days after the ETF approval happens, and then you also factor in the Fed's policy and like job reports not coming out. The government shutdown is basically the reason why I think things weren't able to happen the way they needed to happen this cycle. Also, why is this not working? Like, is Grok just broken? The government shutdown really messed things up big time, guys. I'm gonna be real with you guys. All right. Well, Grok's just broken right now, I guess. That's too bad. Maybe we can try something else like ChatGPT. Let's try ChatGPT instead. Okay. Let's try this. Claus sent me a shout out. Shout out Claus, man. All right. Let's see. Okay, so this looks a little bit more reasonable. Yeah, this actually is a lot more accurate. Yeah, so like it looks like the approximate drawdowns for XRP was like 90, 93%, 89% the last two cycles. So, I mean, obviously quite a bit, right? That's something to keep in mind, guys. It's a large number. And so if the bears are right here, then, you know, we have no reason to believe it should be any different besides the ETFs and these other things. So, yeah, we need to factor it in. We need to think about that, right? It's just something to keep in mind. That's all. Let's hear what we should be doing with our holdings. Buckle up and ride it out. Do we think a longer bull run is still possible? Yeah, that's a good question. I think that there's a few... May I meet you. What a legend. May I meet you. The crypto bro of the century. Yeah, so like how I think, you know, how I'm playing it out, right? So my situation, and I realize everyone's situation is going to be different, but I'll explain my situation to you guys so you guys understand what I am doing and why it makes sense. So for me personally, I bought the vast majority of my XRP from like 2020, 2024, in that 2022, 2024 for this cycle. And so most of my XRP, I got like well below $1 per coin, right? And I understand for a lot of people watching this video, that's not going to be the case. And for a lot of you guys watching this video, that is going to be the case. But that is my case scenario, right? So I bought a lot of my XRP between like 50 to 30 cents. That's like where I bought the vast majority of it. Some of it I bought a little bit higher at 60, 70 cents. You know, some of it I bought just above $1. But like my average entry is like around 50 cents. And so with that being said, I have the few different options in mind, right? There is a lot of supporting evidence to show that there is a probability that this bull run has ended. And so if that is true, what I can very easily do right now is I can, scale down my holdings and take out my initial investment at the 50-cent range, right? Which is much lower than where we are even still today at, $2, I could take that out and then just hold the rest and just, ride that out. If the bulls are right and XRP is going to go to $20 per coin in the next 3 months, then all of that extra capital, I just hold that, it goes to $20. I can take more profits if I want to, or just keep holding it. It's whatever. It's house money, right? It doesn't really matter to me. And if the bears are right, well, that's amazing. I'm going to have a huge amount of cash that I can now buy those dips for if it does go down and the bears are right, and I can just keep going. So if I'm going to hedge my bets in an intelligent way, that's what I'm doing, right? Now, I recognize that other people are in different positions. So let's say I had bought the majority of my XRP at $3.40. And this is money that I don't need for the next few years. What I'm going to do in that case is I'm just going to hold that XRP. There's no point in selling it now. I'm just going to hold that XRP, and if we do go down, I'm just going to dollar cost average in at those lower prices and lower my average entry to get it as low as possible, so that the time that the next bull run comes around in a couple of years, well, I can take advantage of it then and play it smart then, right? But yeah, I'm going to have to wait a couple of years if I made that mistake of buying XRP above $3 per coin, and that's where my average entry's at. I'll have to bite the bullet on that. I'll have to learn my lesson and be smart. Now, if I absolutely need money and I can't afford to, not sell XRP within the next couple of months, then I would sell at a loss personally. I would, right? Because there's, I think, a pretty solid potential, a pretty solid probability, I should say, that the bull run will end, right? And so keeping that in mind, I can keep what I can keep, and I can sell what I need to sell to survive, whatever. That's what I'm going to do, right? What was with the jump this morning? It was huge manipulation. I actually had a long position open this morning in my Discord. We were able to close and take profit at 2275. I think XRP jumped up to 230 off of that candle. It was insane. I mean, it was like a 15-minute candle where we went from 220 up to 230, then instantly back down again. Pretty crazy stuff. It's dropping really quick right now. Yeah, I mean, listen, I want to be honest with you guys, and I'm genuinely really sorry if I'm telling you guys something that you just don't want to hear. I would have been telling you guys this every single day for the last 2 weeks if I wasn't banned from YouTube. But the unfortunate truth is I was. So it is what it is. What can I do? So we'll see what happens. I'm definitely leaning towards it being more bearish than bullish because of what I showed you guys earlier. What's up, Patrick? How you doing, man? What do you think of the $1,000 prediction from Jake Claver before the end of the year? I do not think it's going to happen. I would love to be wrong. I'd love nothing more than to be wrong. If XRP is $1,000 before the end of the year, I think we can all agree we'd be very happy people. We would all love for that to happen. Now, I like to personally make money. I'm not someone who is super hopium like that. So I really, 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 really have no reason to believe that's going to be the case. We can revisit this conversation at the end of the year when it doesn't happen. But like I said, I would love nothing more than to be wrong. I think we can all agree. We would all love for XRP to hit $1,000 by the end of the year, right? I mean, you'd be crazy to say no. Stop spamming in the chat, please. Stop spamming. Sorry, you're going to get put in timeout if you spam. Do I think that $5 is possible before year end? I mean, that's a lot more reasonable than $1,000. I will be honest though. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. It's so much easier for me to just to say, oh, I think XRP is going to go to $1 million per coin, but I don't think that's the case. I think that $5 per XRP is not super likely by year end, guys. If I'm just being completely honest, okay? The markets do look very weak right now, very weak, and so I do think we need to go down before we go up. And I think it's going to be a little bit of pain for a little bit of a time. But we'll see. You know, this next week is actually probably the most important week, because if Bitcoin and XRP and the market can recover and close above, you know, that weekly average, things could actually be very bullish. And then we're back to like a 50-50 chance basically on whether or not we continue to go up. So I would say, you know, it's basically this next week is everything. How we close this week is everything. Like that is going to be what decides what happens here. If we close this week and Bitcoin's still below 95K, things are not looking good. I mean, that's pretty much a confirmation that the bull market is over by most metrics. Welcome back, brother. Shout out our Gamerica. I don't even know how to say your name, bro, but thank you. Thank you. Holding on to what you have is the new meta. Yeah, I mean, the bear market is just holding, accumulating, really. That's like the name of the game when it comes to bear markets. It's just hodling and accumulating. AI is still coming, and crypto is how it will hold value. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, Levi, do you see XRP decoupling from Bitcoin? It looks like it might be happening. I mean, yeah, that'd be amazing, bro. I'd love to see it. Decouple me, brother. Send XRP to $1 million per coin. Let's go. Levi, will you continue trading futures? Yes, absolutely. So my win rate in bear markets is actually higher than in bull markets, because bear markets are a lot more predictable than bull markets are. Bear markets are so much better to trade, actually. And so to answer your guys' question, yes, I'll absolutely still be trading in a bear market. I'll actually be able to open up shorts for once. We just need the confirmation by the end of this week if that's the case or not. Basically, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for this week to kind of roll over and, you know, do whatever. And yeah, I have noticed that most people who own XRP are not upset. They're giving XRP a pass. They are in denial. Yeah, I mean, like, I noticed that too. I think, like, there are a lot of realists in the XRP community as well. Like, the XRP community does sometimes get a bad rep because of all the people that say XRP is going to hit $1,000, you know, by year end or this month or whatever, and then it doesn't happen, and then they change the goalposts, and it's just like a cycle. So, like, there are some people, especially in the Bitcoin community, that make fun of us for that, which honestly, I think it's warranted. Like, it's kind of funny if you really look at it and look at it for what it is. But I think there's also a lot of realists in the XRP community, a lot of people that are very grounded, realistic, and just like the tech and like what Ripple's building, and they really believe in that technology. And, you know, like, if Ripple does what I think it's going to do, yeah, over the next 5 years, $100 per XRP, that's entirely possible. But at the same time, you know, that's very, very speculative, because we don't know what's going to happen, man. I think, you know, we can all agree, everyone in this chat, I think we can all agree, this bull run did not play out as we expected it to happen, right? A lot of people thought that with everything going on, the price action for XRP would have been a lot more explosive, which makes sense. I mean, we have ETFs, we have regulatory clarity, we have Ripple acquiring multi-billion-dollar companies. We have so many amazing things happening. But then we have all of these geopolitical things that are going on that are suppressing our price. And then we have huge manipulation happening from exchanges, which is suppressing our price, right? So, you know, I think it's okay to admit that, like, it didn't play out as we thought it would, for sure. You know? And what I've learned in crypto is you should never trade the market you want. You should always trade the market that you're in. You got to adapt. If things don't play out as you expect it, don't hold on to that hopium. Keep hoping that it happens eventually, because then you're going to be left holding the bag when the whales, institutions, they decide to exit, because they're actually looking at the stats and the data, right? And so, listen, I wouldn't say that if I hadn't been involved in the last 3 cycles. I've just seen it happen 3 times now, and so that's why I'm talking about it with you guys. And like, if you guys disagree with me, that's fully within your right. That's totally okay. I want to be wrong, but I just have seen it happen enough times where it's like, you know, I'd be crazy not to listen to the warning signs, you know? It's literally the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I learned my lesson the first time. How will the reverse carry trade affect XRP price? The reverse carry trade? Sorry, I don't know what you're referring to, Josh. Could you elaborate? A lot of the YouTubers are backpedaling hard. Lots of claims back in the beginning of 2025. Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, $5-10 per XRP. Yeah, like I always said, I think $20 is like the absolute peak echelon of like what XRP can achieve in like the most bullish case scenario. That's always been my messaging. And yeah, like my messaging changed slightly when certain things happened, like when the ETFs were pushed back multiple times, or when the government shutdown happened, or, you know, like I kept having to change my messaging because these things affect the price. Or the Fed refusing to cut rates for such an extended period of time. Like that was insane. Like nobody expected the Fed not to cut rates like that, right? Like if the Fed actually cut rates as they should, and the government shutdown didn't happen, and the XRP ETFs weren't delayed like 10 times, we would have had an amazing run. But unfortunately, you know, those things all happened against us, right? So I think you're right, but the reverse will happen sooner than 4 years. Yeah, I think it's going to happen sooner than 4 years as well. I agree. Which of the last 3 bull runs you were part of that did this? All of them. 2016, 2021, and now. I did. I'm back. What's up, Bradley? Word up. What's up, Matt? Do you expect after the ISO date that the price will move? I think the price moves all when we least expect it. I mean, let's be real, guys. Let's be real. Did you guys think that the price would move harder when the first ETF was launched? Yes or no? This is just the reality. When good news is announced, generally speaking, it doesn't really positively impact the price unless it's completely unexpected. If there's like a set date for this ETF to launch on this day, it's already been priced into the markets. That's just the way that markets work. That's how stocks work. That's how XRP works. So if we have like a set date for ISO standard, you know, banks switching over, I don't think we're going to see an immediate blast off, to answer your question. No. Maybe over the long term, it will help the price appreciation of XRP if it is integrated into these banking systems. But that's a lot of ifs, and that's a lot of speculation. We have no confirmation any of that's going to happen. But if there is an announcement from Bank of America out of nowhere, we're going to be doing all cross-border payments on the XRPL, of course, that will cause, you know, massive amounts of price appreciation. But if they say starting on January 15th, like maybe they announce this December 1st, starting on January 15th, all transactions are going to be on the XRPL, it'll be priced in before that date. Before that date. It'll have run up way before that date. It'll get priced in. The bull run's about to begin. Let's see it, man. Send XRP to $5. Let's go. Whose ETF drops this week? What was it? The Franklin Templeton one? Which one was it? Let me double check. Yeah, Franklin Templeton. It's expected to launch tomorrow. Yeah, so that one's happening, and then we have like 10 other ETFs that are launching over the next like couple of weeks here. I think the 4-year cycles are done. Maybe we'll get mini crypto winters from here on out and mini cycles. It's possible. I mean, I'd love for that to happen. You know, if it all kind of accelerates and speeds up and moves faster, I mean, I'm not going to complain at all. Will there be another rate cut? That is completely up in the air. The last we heard from the Fed, they said that they don't want to cut rates again. And then the markets immediately dumped after they made that announcement. So I don't know. With the government shutdown and them not releasing unemployment data, I can't see them cutting rates. That's going to be, I don't know. I just don't think that's going to happen. Just got here. We still bullish or no? I would recommend to go back a little bit. I went through a lot of important things, some bearish indicators. I talked about the bullish side of things as well, but I'm leaning bearish anyways for the next little bit here. And I have cash on the sidelines. I'm ready to buy if we do go in the direction that I think we are based off of what I've seen. No rate cut 44% yet, so it's a no. Yeah. Levi, I know you don't like shorting. Why is that? I don't like shorting in a bull market, but I do short in bear markets, to answer your question, Mr. Crinkle. So if we do get confirmation that we're in a bear market, then I will start looking at shorts. Ripple needed the judge to say that we were not a security. That means anyone who owns XRP owed nothing. Should I be considering selling off maybe 10% of my long-term bag right now? Completely up to you, Bradley. If you can, play on house money, if you know what I mean, I would play on house money right now, personally. Guess I'll subscribe. Let's go, Viva Mexico. No worries, we're at the starting of the run. I'm actually genuinely curious. By the way, guys, I just want to say this one more time, just in case for all of you guys that missed it. I will not be uploading on this channel frequently because I've been getting a ton of strikes, suspensions, all that kind of stuff. If you guys want to stay tuned with me, I will give you my new channel, so make sure you subscribe. It's in the chat. It's pinned in the chat. You can subscribe here. I will be keeping you guys updated, uploading videos on this channel right here. It's pinned in the chat for you guys. I'll also just drop it in the chat one more time for you guys so you guys can all subscribe. Here we go. That's it right there. Once you guys all have a chance to subscribe, if you haven't subscribed yet, we're going to get into doing some polls and stuff like that. Lady Fairfax, thank you for becoming a Levi supporter. I'm playing on Greg's money. Let's go, man. If the RSI is oversold and the liquidity is above us, aren't we due to rebound upwards? Potentially, yeah. But basically what dictates a bear market is, are we seeing lower lows and lower highs, right? Are we consistently doing that? And if the answer is yes, then we're in a bear market, and so the general trend will be down for a little bit, right? So yeah, that's one thing to keep in mind. Thank you guys for all the subscriptions. But yeah, okay, so let's talk about it. I'm curious what you guys think. I want to do a sentiment check. I want to see what you guys all have to say here. I'm going to unpin this message. Make sure you guys all go subscribe to the channel there. Unpin that. We're going to go do a poll. Are we in a bear market? Let's hear it, guys. Yes or no? Start poll. Let's hear it. What do you guys think? Shout out Chipper. Let's go, man. All right, 66% of people are saying no. 71% of people are saying no. 64% say no. 69% say no. Let's hear it, guys. We are a cult of delusion. That's funny, Bradley. It's true, though. It is so true. This is not how a bull market ends. You know this, Levi? This is how 2 out of 3 of the last bull market end and have ended. These same conditions were met. But listen, I don't want it to end. I'm not qualified to answer. I think that's a very honorable statement, Mike. The fact that you can admit that is very honorable. Impact on market: 1, Trump's corruption; 2, me and Ukraine; 3, market suppression and manipulation; 4, regulations and fight back. I said yes because it always goes the opposite of what I think. I'd love to be wrong, guys. I would love to be wrong. And I know I'm going against the grain. This is the unpopular opinion. But I do think we're going to bear market territory. I do think that. But yeah, I'd love to be wrong. I would love nothing more than to be wrong about that. You asked for an opinion, not who is qualified? Yeah, I know. I want to see it. It's a sentiment check. I know 80% of people that vote on the poll probably don't even know what a bear market and bull market are, really, like from a definitional standpoint. And that's okay. I just want to get a sentiment. Like, what do people think? We are in a snake market. Yeah, maybe. It does feel that way, doesn't it? It does feel that way. Get on Rumble if YouTube is messing with you. Thanks for the $10 super chat, by the way. Much love, man. $89K soon, and after we go towards all-time high. Interesting. Bitcoin 90K this week, yes or no? It's very possible, man. I'll be honest. It's very, very possible that happens. I don't want it to happen. I wish price went up all the time, right, guys? That'd be great. Send price up all the time, all the time. Never stop. To the moon, to the moon. Woo! If this is a bear market, 6 to 12 months, that's how long we're going to be inside this bear market. Many people argue that this bear market started in October, so that means we're already, like basically a month in. That means between 5 to 11 months more, basically. If we are in a bear market once again. It's not confirmed until we have the next weekly close. And even then, after the next weekly close, if we get the confirmation, even then people will say, oh, no. But that's the truth, guys. That's what dictates a bear market, right? So we'll see. There's a big liquidity grab at 90,000 for Bitcoin. I think we will rebound after that. Probably, yeah. I mean, there's going to be a lot of rebounds, right? Even if we're in a bear market, there's going to be a lot of rebounds. Like, I think this is the mistake that a lot of people make. Like, oh, we're in a bear market. It's just down all the time now, right? No. Like, in bear markets, the trend is down, but like on the way down, you're going to have a rebound. You're going to go down, a rebound. Then you're going to go down, rebound. Then you're going to go down, right? That's just how the markets operate. I mean, you can see this happen right here. You can look at this chart, right? We go down, rebound, go down, rebound, and then we go down here. Nice solid rebound. We go down right here. Nice solid rebound. And we go down more. We'll see how the trend goes from here, right? I'll be honest, though. This chart does look It does look bearish. What confirmation are we looking for? Basically, the confirmation is if Bitcoin closes below $95,000 for the second week in a row, meaning next week. That's a very strong confirmation. That increases the odds of us being in a bear market, you know, to like 80%. So that's what we're looking at. Do you think BIS will make XRP a tier 1 asset? Yeah. I think XRP is already a tier 1 asset. You know, people are just sleeping on it. Thanks for all the great trades over the last few months. Love your indicator. Really appreciate that, Jennifer Hill. Much love. And hey, stay tuned for the if this is the bear market. If I'm not saying it is or not, but if this is the bear market, stay tuned because things will get quite a bit more juicy during that period of time. Okay, it's gonna get real fun. What was the big XRP jump today? Oh, this. I mean, it was just really crazy. Like this 1 15-minute candle right here. Like we went down right here to, what was it on the bottom right here? Like 219. And then out of nowhere, we have this one candle that sends us like straight up all the way to 230. And then we instantly come back down again. My indicator caught that, by the way. That was really nice. What's with all of the XRP ETFs? Also, November 22nd is still a few days away. I expected more. I think, honestly, everyone here can say they expected more. I can honestly believe that. I honestly believe that, sorry. Let's ask it. Did you expect XRP price to be higher during this stage of the cycle? Let's see. I'm actually genuinely curious. Like what people think. Yes or no? Let's start that poll, guys. Yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, I'll be honest. I definitely thought XRP price would have pushed quite a bit higher at this stage. I was hoping we would have pushed to about $5 by this point, but the government shutdown, of course, the Fed not cutting rates, and all that kind of stuff really threw us for a loop. Google patent using body activity data. Crazy. Yeah. So about 80% of people seem to agree with me. No shame in that, guys. I want to be honest with you guys. You know, no shame in that at all. Well, now I'm qualified to answer. Let's go, Mike. Christmas time is coming. Hey, man, I want a nice Christmas rally. That'd be beautiful. 83%. Yeah, I think like 8 out of 10 people are on the same boat. You know, like we thought the price action would be bigger. I don't think anybody could have anticipated the government shutdown, especially when the government shutdown happened. I think the government shutdown probably happened at one of the worst possible times. And I don't even care about your political viewpoint, whatever. But like, you just look at like the timing of the government shutdown with the ETFs and all of that stuff. I mean, that was really unfortunate timing because Q4 is always supposed to be like the most bullish for any cycle. It doesn't matter, bull, whatever. But Q4 is always supposed to be the most bullish part. And we get the government shutdown right in Q4, man. You know? It really sucks. Really, really sucks. But we gotta trade the market that we're in, not the market that we want to have. You know? That's just the case. Best possible time for the manipulators? So true. So true. Also, the timing of my YouTube channel getting suspended for 2 weeks? Man, you know, I wanted to talk to you guys so bad for the last couple of weeks and talk about this stuff, but I just couldn't, you know? It was so unfortunate. I really wanted to, you know, be there for you guys. And then I have to see all these $1,000 by the end of the year XRP predictions coming out, man. Oh, it was so painful, bro. You guys have no idea how painful that was for me. I was cringing so hard, dude. Guess who's back? Back again. Levi. That's right, man. Levi's back. Tell a friend. It was purposeful? Okay, I think that's going to be the next question. I think the votes are pretty clear. Most people expected XRP to be higher at this point of the cycle. I agree. I also thought that too. I mean, you guys watched my videos. I definitely thought that was going to be the case. But we couldn't predict the government shutdown. We're all kind of on the same boat there. Let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about this. Do you think the government shutdown / ETF delays were intentional manipulation on XRP price / crypto? Do that one. Yes or no? Let's see it. What do you think? XRP by $10? No, I don't think so, bro. I'll be honest, Lady Fairfax. I don't think that XRP is going to hit $10 by year end, unfortunately. The market conditions just aren't great right now. So that's not something I'm willing to bet on at this moment in time. Yeah, most people think that it was manipulation as well. Interesting. Okay. Levi, throw up the gold ETF at BitChart. This is why I knew it wouldn't. Also, Solana ETFs too, Matt Grimes. Yeah, I looked at the gold ETF, but the Solana ETFs, they really didn't have much of an impact, right? And I think this is something that a lot of people like forget, you know, including myself. I'll be honest, I didn't like dive as deep into the Solana ETF's impact on prices I should have, but you know, Solana's actually down after their spot ETF was launched, right? So something to keep in mind, guys, right? Something to keep in mind. Sorry, Lady Fairfax. I wish I, you know, was able to, with conviction, tell you something that you want to hear, but I'm never going to lie to you guys. I will never lie to you guys. If I'm actively going against what the majority of people think about it. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? It's not good for me as a content creator. I'm just going to have random people hate me for no reason, right? Oh, you're bearish. Oh, screw you. You know, I'm going to go watch someone else who's bullish all the time, you know? It's not like good for me. But I believe in being honest. I believe in having integrity. That's what I believe in. So I'm never going to lie for my own benefit, ever. Ever. Don't get stuck in the idea of extremely volatile cycles continuing. That was pre-adoption. The times are changing. Look what they have. Who control or doing not what you feel. I support you, bro. I disagree with you. I think the cycles are going to continue as long as the Fed's around, but yeah, I support you, bro. Okay. And I also think that it's in the institution's best interest to consistently manipulate the markets. I also believe that. I mean, look at who profits every single time that these markets get manipulated to these massive degrees. It's always the institutions, right? Because they're the only ones with the capital to actually make these manipulations happen. They can hunt liquidations for longs, shorts, whatever, and then they can make a lot of money off of that, right? So I think they're fully incentivized to do it. From a monetary standpoint, all these institutions, they have one goal. It's maximize profits, right? So why wouldn't they? If you can make your shareholders happy, you can make your company a bunch of money. I mean, you know? If you wanted people out before a high was established, do what they're doing now. True. But I think you would also say the same thing in 2021, 2022 when the bull run was ending too, right? I think you would say the same thing then too, when it was ending and Bitcoin dropped down 80% or whatever. In fact, I saw a lot of comments like that. I was making videos at that time. In order to get a one world government, you need a one world currency. What's that one world currency? This is why I follow you, bro. Straight up facts and learn a lot alongside Oscar, Crypto Win. Nice, man. From Spain. Learned a lot from you guys. Thank you for that. Hey, man, my pleasure. Awesome to have you here, man. Really appreciate your support. Financial institutions and big businesses are in now. The 4-year cycle is irrelevant from this point on. I guess we'll see, you know? I guess we'll see. If you guys honestly believe that, and, you know, we do enter into a bear market, We'll see. We'll see, guys. Okay, we'll see. All I ask is you remain open-minded to both sides. That's all. And if you are wrong, just be willing to admit you are wrong. A lot of you guys have the benefit of being able to remain anonymous and being able to say things and not being held accountable for it. Everything that I say or do, I'm held accountable for. I am, because I have a big platform. A lot of people watch me. It's just the way that it is, right? That's why I choose to take the most conservative approach and the most grounded approach that I can. How rich would I be if that $1,000 prediction is correct by end of year? Guys, if XRP is $1,000 per coin, I'm going to be a billionaire, okay? I'll be a billionaire. That's the truth. So yeah, I mean, I would love for that to happen. But listen, I don't think it will. None of us will be anonymous by 2030. That's a very fair point, Lady Fairfax. Yeah. Glad to see you back. Nice to see you too, Michael. Glad you're back. Thanks, Matt. Much love, man. Much love. Bank department got pushed back. Emergency Fed meeting. No cash in the Fed. This is where QT ends and QE starts. Liquidity is about to flood in. I'd love to see it, man. I'd love to see it. I mean, we know QT is stopping December 1st. I would love for this run to continue, man. I would love for it to continue. I would love for the money printer to go on. But the Fed is just very, very unpredictable, man. Thanks, Dance. You're looking fine today. Thank you. I got the nice dress shirt on, you know. The shakeout before the breakout by year end, this will not be under $3 or $5. I'd love for that to be the case. Let's see it, man. You know, if Bitcoin closes above 95 this next week, I think it is very possible. We just gotta wait to see how Bitcoin closes. Everyone follows Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin closes above 95, maybe we even close above 100. Woo! Yeah, we're back to the races, guys. That's basically what we're looking for, right? If Bitcoin closes this week above 95, that is what's going to dictate the direction of this market. Can YouTube please stop messing with your channel? I miss you. I subscribe to my new channel. Go to my new channel. I'll be uploading videos there. I can't risk uploading on this channel because, yeah, the next suspension will be a permanent termination of my channel. So, yeah, I just don't want to live in constant anxiety of whether or not I'm going to lose my YouTube channel. Levi, are you going to sell some of your long-term bag if Bitcoin does close under 95? Yeah, I will. Yeah. I'll be playing on house money at that point, Bradley. Basically, you know, I'll take out whatever I invested during the bear market. I'll take that out, and then I'll just play on house money. If that happens, Bradley. To tell you the truth. That's what I'm going to do. And I'll have a lot of money left over. A ton left over. So I'll be really happy no matter what happens. I'll be able to live with myself, you know? That's the most important thing. Is not having regret. My 13-year-old son sold Roblox accessories for $1,500 in Bitcoin back in 2020. Wow. In 2020. So, I mean, it depends when he did that in 2020, but I mean, yeah, that Bitcoin could easily be worth, I think. What was the price of Bitcoin back then again? We'll go to the 5-year. 2020, you said, right? Let's look at it. It's 2020. Yeah, so I mean, Bitcoin probably would have been around 6 to... I mean, it really depends on when it was in 2020. It could be anywhere from like 6,000, or sorry, anywhere from 5,000 all the way to like you know, 20,000 if it was towards the end of the year. Let's just say it was like $10,000 for sake of like just having a in the middle type of answer. I mean, now we're at, you know, almost 10x that. So what was it, the amount? You said $1,500. So, you know, that could be like 15 grand. I'd say that's a reasonable estimate, but it really depends when it was in 2020, right? If it was earlier on in the year, he could have double that. Where have I been? I've been banned. I got the ban hammer on YouTube, guys. For 2 weeks, I was banned. That is very cool. That is very cool, and you should be proud of him. That's an awesome pays flight school. Yeah, that's awesome. Flight school. It was later in the cycle. Okay, even then, still really awesome. I mean, at minimum, he 5x'd his money, right? So, good for him. Coordinated effort to shake out weak hands. Yeah. I mean, it could be. Could be for sure. Yeah. Personally, I'm waiting for the confirmation next week, guys. I'm not like gonna dump everything right now. I'm gonna always keep the keep something, you know, in the gas tank here. But you know, that's how it is. More time to buy more or trade things as everything is cheaply priced. True. But once again, let's wait for the week to play out, guys. That's really important. This week is going to be very, very crucial. So we'll do that. Guys, it was really great to do a live stream to reconnect with you guys. Thank you all for joining in. I want to remind you guys that I'm not going to be able to upload videos on this channel. I'm going to be uploading them to my second channel, this one right here. I'm going to drop the link once again for you guys, so you guys can all subscribe, follow this other channel here where I'll be posting my videos. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you turn on notifications so you get the video. I put it in the chat for you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys over there. That's where I will be uploading content outside of 1 or 2 videos that I'll upload to the main channel. But yeah, pretty much everything's going to be here, guys. So backup channels right there. Have a good one, guys. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming in. And I'll see you in the other channel, and I'll probably do lives over there as well. Much love, guys. Much love.